Hey everybody, it's two gorgeous gals. I'm Cricket.
And Missy.
And today we're going to talk about reevaluating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Take it away.
So, in the reevaluating who we are, and we've been talking about this, it's like people don't always recognize how far you've come, how many things that you accomplished, whether you realized it or not even. And most of it we don't realize because...
Well, we're with us every day.
Right. It's kind of like, okay, it's kind of like weight loss.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't look like you've lost weight. I see you every day.
Exactly. But then someone who hasn't seen you is like, holy cow, what have you been doing?
Right.
And so that's like what we're going to talk about. Like who we are now versus who were then. And we started, I know, and realizing how far you've come. So I was just saying, like Cricket, like think a situation you were in 5 years ago and how you handled it then versus how you would handle it now. And you had something come to mind?
Well, I mean, I've had a lot of things come to mind, but we've talked about the kids a lot today.
Right.
And so it's one thing to go to your kids and say, look, I know I messed up as a parent. And I apologize for my mistakes. But if there is anything in particular that you would like to address or whatever, I am open, come to me, like we can work it out.
Exactly.
And my kids oblige. And when they first started telling me, my first reflex was, did not. Well, what was the circumstances around it? Well, I did this because that. Like, I instantly went defensive.
Defensive, yeah. I've had that one.
And then you can see the light go out in their eyes.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I did it again. Okay. Let me go home and think about it, and then we'll talk about it later. I'm sorry I just did that. I recognize what I did.
Yeah.
Let me work on that.
Right.
And then it got to not the complete defensive, but in my mind, I wanted to go to reason, excuse. Well, only because of this, only because of that. And now I'm finally in a place that I can listen to them.
Yep.
Without going there within myself.
Yeah.
And without, like, there's still some guilt. I don't know if that'll ever go away, but what is important is that they feel heard and validated.
Yeah.
It don't have anything to do with me, whether I think they're right or wrong. But that's not my experience.
Right.
We're helping them with their experience, their emotions, and helping them be okay.
Yeah. And
so now I can listen to the whole thing, because some of them are quite long, but be like, dude, like, I understand how you'd feel some kind of way about that.
Yeah.
And not my intention. I had no idea that's what I was doing.
I'm sorry that I made you feel that way.
Yeah, I hate that I made you feel that way.
Yeah.
And just validating them.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 years ago, and now listening and validating.
Yeah. And that's coming from a healed place as well. Because the only reason you're getting defensive is because there's some kind of a guilt or some kind of negativity behind that response.
Right.
And so, yeah, coming from a healed version of it, you can accept that and be like, okay, I understand why I did it, but that's not on you. Right now, we're talking about you. I've done this and I've handled it, and I know where I'm at right now with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's about you, and let's get you to that place of being okay. And
And some of the stuff, there have been like further conversations afterward. It's not just oh yes, it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
But they need to feel validated for their feelings.
Yeah. And you taught me that, because there was a situation with one of my kids that was like, they said something to me and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And then when we were talking about it, you're like, ooh, let me
They
tell
have
you
an
this
issue with
situation.
consistency.
Yeah. And then when I apologized, they were like, all right, whatever. So they didn't quite get it, but I think, yeah.
They will.
Yeah. And it's something that I've started doing more so, is listening and validating their feelings. But as I heal and get with myself into my true authentic self, it's easier.
Yeah.
And so what I was writing down earlier is that, like, sooner and sooner now we are recognizing those either patterns or those shadows that creep in. We're recognizing it sooner. The biggest problem that I've had in the last couple of weeks is intrusive thoughts. Like things coming back, then I'm like, hey, I thought I already took care of you, like spastic Sally, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm having to, like, but I'm catching it almost right away. Like, what the hell, where did that come from? You need to back it off or whatever. So I'm happy. That was one of the things that, like, in reevaluating, like, I have come so far in that aspect that I catch myself quicker.
And me too, because I don't have negative self-talk anymore.
That's so.
I used to really bad.
Yeah.
But now I don't. Because I went from being able to catch myself quicker and quicker.
Yeah.
And then I would reframe it. Oh, I'm so stupid. Why did I forget that? No, I'm the absent-minded professor. I've got so many things going on. It's a wonder that I can remember any of it.
Right.
Right? So
Yeah.
yay me for remembering the stuff I have.
Yeah.
To now it's just not a thing anymore.
That's, yeah. Yeah.
And that's made a huge difference. Getting rid of the negative self-talk.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. That will be nice someday. It's getting better though. And I'm happy about that. Because it helps me even in social settings then.
Yeah. But I've noticed lately, I don't have much self-talk anymore. Like there are thoughts running around, oh, I need to do this or that, but I don't talk to myself in my head like I used to.
Oh.
Yeah. If I'm not bullying myself, there's not much left to say.
But you have positive self-talk though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen all the time like the negative self-talk did.
Yeah.
So it's like, yay, I didn't want to do the dishes, but I got it done. Go me.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of corny stuff to keep myself going.
Yeah.
But when you don't talk ugly to yourself, there's no need to talk nice to yourself. Because you're not trying like the kids. Yeah. I'm not trying to make you feel better for what I just did. I'm not talking nice to myself because I just talked ugly. Okay. I'm not trying to fix it.
Okay.
And like, because people say, if you have one negative thought, think 3 nice things to kind of
counteract
whatever. Right. But if you're not constantly talking ugly to yourself, your mind is free for all other stuff. I started designing the tarot deck, and I'm refinishing my table, and I finished 3 wood burning. My brain's not busy being an asshole to myself.
Right.
So.
That's awesome. Well, so that's part of realizing how far you've come.
Yeah, because when you make decisions based on whatever, we'll say information is at hand, rather than, oh, don't be stupid, you don't want to do that. Or what are you thinking? They'll never go for that. Or it's easier to make decisions because you're not constantly
Right.
judging yourself,
Yeah.
I guess.
See, in a way I looked at it is I would look at all of the different possibilities and then the outcomes and take the easiest route.
You know, I would do one person in particular, but others, and I've got a decision, a this or that. How am I going to have to defend these decisions?
Yeah.
And which one is going to be easier to defend?
Yeah.
And I would choose that one.
Yeah. But
When my decision had nothing to do with the people in my head.
right. And then second guessing it all the way. Ugh. Frustrating, but I'm getting like, ooh, that's the exciting part of it though. As we reevaluate, we are also rethinking and everything, like remembering who we truly are. And once those, and that book that I'm reading about the transformation, it's like once you develop it, it becomes more automatic and you don't even have to think about it. And like you're past that point, and I'm just like coming into that point. And I know how wonderful it makes me feel. So holy cow, yeah.
It's like a little kid. Little kids, before they start bullying themselves because of what they've heard, it's
Yeah.
exciting. Ooh, I want to check this out, and let's go look at that, and let's play with this.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Until you get, yeah. And like we've talked about in the last week or so, like I just lost it.
I've been doing that so much.
It had to do with my daughter and what we've been talking about.
Was it the things you are going through now? That's what people typically go through during high school.
That was part of it.
Okay.
And in the redefining, like if you're upset about like X, Y, and Z, it's based off of either past experience or something in the past. So if you're in your happiness now and you haven't cleared away that old stuff, then again you might be waiting for the shoe to drop or the bottom of something to fall out. But I keep telling her, but that's the past and you're not living for the past. You're in the present and you have the possibility of any future. Like the future's not even here yet. So don't take what you've learned in the past in the negative way and bring it forward and be like, oh yeah, this is how this started the last time and look how that turned out. No, because you have the ability to change it. And if it's telling spastic Sally to back off with those intrusive thoughts, that's what you got to do. Because am I going to sit at home and second guess everything I've said or dwell on something, or am I going to change that and move forward with like a great day at the beach with the people that I think that I know what they're thinking about? So that that was something in the last week or so that really started to show some clarity.
Yeah, because even if it is a very, very similar situation, you are a new person.
Exactly.
So it may have a different outcome
And
because you're different.
You're going to have different expectations.
Yeah.
One, the expectations aren't quite expectations because you know that, like today with our little sidekick trip or whatever.
I totally had her drive like
But
45 minutes the wrong direction.
But you know what? Like, one, I always say we probably avoided something.
Right.
We didn't pick up anybody on the way. But, I mean, like, it happened for a reason, but we were just cruising and we were talking and it was just a wonderful day.
Mm-hmm.
So everything synchronizes, and we saw some nice angel numbers and some wonderful things happen today. And so those are the things that we are creating.
Mm-hmm. And a few years back, that would have had my anxiety so bad. Oh my God, I had it a little bit. I feel so bad. I took you the wrong way. Let me give you some extra gas money.
Yeah, but
like
no, this is totally cool. That's part of the letting go and trusting that wherever you're going, you're exactly where you need to be at that very moment, and it's happening, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, even if something, I don't want to say it because I don't want to speak it into existence, but well, we waited how long? It took us 3 hours. So, but you know what? We made the best of it. We knew being there for a specific purpose, and yes, so we made the best of 3 hours, you know? So people watched. We saw a lot of different people.
We did.
And yeah, so that's kind of where you're going with the flow type. And 3 years ago, coming out of your skin. But today, just like, this is totally cool. This is happening for a reason, and we have a trust in knowing that we'll be where we need to be when we need to be there.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, I've been saying it quite a bit lately. It's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
However, I know when I'm done, I'm going to be so glad I did it.
Yep, exactly.
And that's worth sticking it out.
Yep. Yeah. And then it too helps me with like follow through.
Yeah.
Because that's something I think I've done a lot of this and a lot of that, but some of the follow through wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
So that I find is getting better as well. And I think it's because, like you said earlier about the intrusive thoughts, if those aren't there, that makes room for something different. Creativity. When I don't worry about this, then this part flourishes, because like I'm doing my resume right now, and I can't wait till you read it, because it's actually quite quirky and fun.
Awesome.
So if you read my resume, you're going to be like, this is good.
Awesome.
So, but had I been dwelling on something else, my mind may not have gone there.
Or even stressing over the resume. How do I word this? How do I put that? What do I put there?
Yeah.
Resumes are not fun.
No, they're not. But you know what?
But instead of looking at it negatively, look at it creatively, and then you get you a cool, quirky.
And the thing is, it's the energy I'm putting into it as well, because I think if I were to sit down and read this resume, I'd get a chuckle out of it. So I picture somebody reading my resume and getting a chuckle out of it, and that's the energy I'm putting into it, which is why I decided to totally redo my resume.
Yeah.
Because, some places are seasonal or temporary, so, that's, and I need something a little more sustaining. So yeah, but I'm excited about it. It's like a new adventure. It's not like, oh my God, I gotta have a job, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. It's more like, whoo, it's the next adventure.
Right.
Because I've done a lot of different things, and like I never watered plants before, and it's been so much fun. So like, instead of like, what am I gonna do? It's like, no, what's the next adventure? Let's see what I got under my, like up my sleeve or whatever.
Absolutely.
So, and manifesting. But I had to redefine how I looked at things, change my perspective on how I looked at things, so that I could have that mentality versus the old way, the old pattern.
You know what that made me think of?
What?
When we were talking the other day about how now, let's say I'm late to something, which I never am, but because I'm early to everything, but if I happen to be late to something, now I no longer say, I'm sorry I was late.
Right.
Now I say, thank you for your patience, or thank you for waiting for me, or whatever.
Yeah.
Because to me, when I start out with I'm sorry, because that'd be the first thing you'd say, right? Oh my God, I'm so sorry I'm late. Hi,
Yeah.
everybody. That in my mind starts you out
Guilty.
beneath everybody else.
Guilty is.
Everybody had to wait for me, or something. It started me out less than.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so putting it that way, other people, thank you for your patience.
I appreciate that you waited.
Yeah, I
for
appreciate
me.
that.
Yeah.
So
A completely different tone.
completely different energy,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And so even just that small reframing
Yes.
makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Because it shifts the energy.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's so much to that. It's just the projection. But that is also coming from a healed standpoint, because there isn't a guilt on it. You know, as much as you try to be on time,
right?
Yeah, but you don't intentionally. I'm just going to show up 15 minutes. Well, unless you're fashionably late all the time. But most people are not like, you know, I'm going to be 15 minutes late, so let me just do.
Yeah, they can wait.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
I know people like that.
Well, but I mean, as a rule, and those
Right.
people aren't going to apologize anyways.
No.
I mean, they're just like, I am who I am. Love me or leave me. Which, I mean, that's cool too.
Right?
Sometimes I wish I had more of that attitude.
Yeah.
But as, like you said, the people pleaser aspect of it, coming out of that, you're like, yeah, I can totally. Yeah.
Please forgive me for existing a little bit behind your timeline.
Well, like I said the other day, somebody was an asshole to me. And I'm like, I want to be an asshole to somebody. You know what I mean? Mainly maybe that person, but it's like I don't feel like I have it in me. I would feel so guilty if because I would think it would come back on me or something. I don't know. When is it okay to be angry and
Okay, so I'm a reformed
bowed
bitch.
off? Yeah.
And it didn't really dawn on me. I knew I was an angry person. But in Archer, my son got onto me because we were doing something. The person was real incompetent. I didn't have to be as rude as I was, but they really sucked at their job.
Yeah.
And I told them to suck my...
Oh, okay.
And then Archer just finished up. We left. He's like, Mom, that was uncalled for.
Whoa.
And this is the child that I listened to him play his video games. And I wish I could articulate the insults that this child lays on people.
Oh no.
Like master insulter, right? Just amazing at it, right? But if I've got him
saying that
disappointed in me,
it was bad.
maybe I need to look at how I deal with people.
Yeah.
So I no longer tell people that. I have stopped. That day was the last time that anyone heard me that I said that. I say it under my breath sometimes still, but
yeah. Yeah. Coming from a different perspective and a different tone.
yeah, I could be a bitch. I was an angry person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anger is a secondary emotion. It covers something else. I use it as a protection.
A lot of people do. I mean, there's a lot to be said about what people will do or have or be for protection. But, you know, sometimes I think I wish it would just automatically, like, I would just be an asshole to somebody because they were an asshole to me. And not feel bad about it or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know if you could get to not feel bad about it.
I don't think so. But maybe once it would be nice. I don't know.
Well,
Not
if
that I want
I
anybody egging me on.
I ever make you mad, feel free.
Yeah, no.
I might look at you crazy,
Mad.
but I'll let it slide. Like, okay, next. Moving on.
That's your one time now. So yeah. Mm-mm.
But like we've had grown, like Archer, he could cuss. I don't know, I'm talking about him a lot.
Yeah.
And you can cuss to me, at me, I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as you don't do it disrespectfully.
Right. They're only words.
So, right.
If they give you an ability to express your anger, whatever it is you're feeling.
Right. Or excitement or passion.
Yeah, I say quite a lot of F-bombs when I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't want you to be so consumed with, I can't cuss in front of mama. So, and that boy's got a mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to be so focused on censoring yourself that you lose the passion or excitement or even anger, whatever.
Yeah. The expression of
Yeah.
what you're
Like
saying.
I don't care about the words. Just tell me.
Yeah.
I want to be excited too,
Mhm.
you know, or who are we mad at?
Yeah.
Like I want to know what you're feeling. I want to be there with you. And if you super censor the people around you, you don't get that.
Yeah. Although when we were little, were you able to cuss when you were little?
I'm still not able to cuss in
Cuss
front.
in front.
Well, I'm able to because I'm grown,
Right.
and I do every once in a while. But out of respect and because I know she doesn't like it,
Yeah.
and even my brother,
Yeah.
I do not cuss in front of my mom or my brother.
Wow. That's impressive.
Sometimes. I don't say the F-bomb.
Yeah.
Well, no, I've done that too. I minimally
Right.
swear.
You mindfully talk around them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I knew this guy. He's got a 16-year-old son. Well, did the kid's grown now. And he walked in the garage or something. The boy's on the phone with his friends, cussing up a storm.
Oh, yeah.
16-year-old boys
Yeah.
cussing up a storm. He got grounded for like 3 weeks, got his phone taken away, got like really punished for it. Yeah. And I'm like, that's how boys talk. You were 16 once.
Oh my gosh.
That's
to
how
hear
guys-
the way they talk on when they're playing their games
Right.
online.
But like the boy
I
doesn't
used to
talk in front of his
laugh.
mama like that.
Never. Yeah.
Like he keeps it amongst his friend group. But he's severely punished for nowadays, phone taken away.
Oh, especially
But I'm
for
like,
3 weeks.
I felt like that was ridiculous.
Excessive. Well, I remember when we were little, like we couldn't cuss. We'd get our mouth washed out with soap. Oh.
If my mama said damn, I knew we were in for it.
But then we'd go like, I don't know, we ran around the neighborhood everywhere when we'd get together and oh my gosh, we'd be cussing at each other.
You know, it's so
oh
cute.
my god, it was so fun.
When Archer started cussing,
Yeah.
but he didn't use the right cuss, he didn't cuss correctly. What the ass shit? That was so hilarious. I would listen to him for hours, cracking up, incorrectly cussing. It was wonderful. I don't know how we got on this topic.
Awesome.
But yeah, they're just
This
words.
is what we do, yeah.
They're just words.
Well, they are.
And I mean, the same could be said for a lot of words that people
Yeah.
take offense to.
Yeah.
And some I get,
Well,
and some I don't. But
I think
the gypsy, now gypsy's offensive.
I've always, yeah, I don't know. Well, I guess if it's offensive, I'm not going to tell that story. But
Well, but my whole life, I was growing. Mama told me she's gonna sell me to the gypsies.
that's the way I had one of my kids convinced that he had a sibling prior to him that I sold.
Oh, okay.
His name was Brian.
You better be good, or I'm gonna
I
sell
used-
you too.
I used that on both my kids. And then my son, who had it first, and then the second came around, he was all on board with it because he was like, she got me on that one too, damn it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, kids.
Someone came into the shop.
Yeah.
And normal conversation, she's like, I'm gonna say it. Which? I didn't know which was offensive.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. Hey, if any of you guys have some comments, I mean, like, I got my Proud to Be Wicca shirt on here, but
Yeah.
like,
How do
yeah.
you keep up?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, if you guys have any ideas, let us know in the comments, or I don't know, how many do we have any followers yet on
No.
our YouTube channel? We got 50.
Well, we've got 2, you and I.
Just you and I. So, yeah, well, we probably we're at 30 minutes. We can
Oh, okay.
let it go and just enjoy it. I've enjoyed our chat. I hope you guys
Yeah.
enjoyed our chat, and we'll see you next week, and hope everything is good, and who knows what we're going to talk about next week. We'll see what the week brings, and we certainly appreciate you guys.
What she said.
All right, peace out.
And